Hello, I'm student James Dawson, and I will be discussing with you today the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986 and the racial disparity associated with it. The main takeaways from my topic are revolved around a couple of main aspects. First of all, during the time period of the 1960s to around 1986, drug abuse and distribution impacted American society significantly. So much so, the effects of drug abuse eroded the effectiveness and reputation of even the military during wars such as the Vietnam War. There were a wide variety of impacts on society such as poverty, murder rates, and corruption in the government that there had to be significant changes in the justice system in order to curb the effects of drug abuse and distribution within the borders of the United States. The next main aspect are the racial injustices associated with the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986 and the war on drugs. While the act was highly necessary and much needed, the system clearly had an issue in its design where the laws regarding drug charges vastly targeted the minority community in greater numbers and percentages in comparison to the majority communities who were engaged into the same type, distribution, and weight of drugs, for example, crack cocaine and powder cocaine. This topic mainly exposes you to the war on drugs, again during the 1960s through the 1980s and even to this present day and time. Essentially, you will gain an understanding of the need for a war on drugs. As well, you will gain an understanding of the significant imbalance of United States drug laws between races and ethnicities within American society. You will learn the origin of drugs such as cocaine, the root causes of drug abuse and distribution, and lastly, possible solutions to the problems at hand when it comes to the war on drugs. This topic matters simply because it is a significant part of American history and society. For example, if you look back into the Vietnam era, you will find that drug distribution and abuse became a detriment to the success of many Vietnam missions. The bottom line, drugs have been a long-running part of American history, and the war on drugs is a continued endeavor. This endeavor, however, remains a work in progress to ensure fairness and equality across the board when it comes to the punishment in the war on drugs, both past and present. In a news article produced by Frank Cruz in 2016 called the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986, The Impact of Mandatory Sentencing, Frank Cruz says this: the Anti-Drug Abuse Act may have been created to decrease drug use among Americans, but in reality, we are unfairly targeting a single demographic and we are not creating a positive impact. It is time for a real change, and this time it should be a fair change. So this concludes my narrative on the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986. Thank you.